So I'm back with another lecture on Linux, and this is the lecture number 48. So in today's lecture, my main motive is that I'm going to have a practical on group management so that your concept as well as the practical part is get clear regarding the group management. So we're going to continue the part 2 on group management, and the main focus on today's lecture would be the practical of group management, that how we can perform its practical. So I think you do remember that on my last lecture, I have already covered the conceptual part of group management. So in today's lecture, we're going to directly start with the practical part. Okay. And we're also going to have a discussion on how we can add any group to our machine, how we can delete any group, how we can add members to our group, how we can check the GID, what is the group ID of our group, and how we can create primary and secondary groups. So we'll have a discussion on all of these things. Plus, I do recommend you all that you should watch the entire video so that you will not going to miss any vital information regarding group management. So I think we need to directly start with the lecture without wasting our time. So for that, let's open the VMware workstation. So I've already set up my terminal here. So first, let's check where we are sitting. So let's execute the pwd command to check where we are right now. So we are at the currently our print working directory is root directory. Now, under the group management topic, first we need to add a group. So for that, you need to execute the command group add and the name of your group, whatever the name you want to assign. So suppose I'm saying let have the name of my group is India. So I'm creating a group named as India. So my group has been added. How we can check? So I hope you all know that under the etc directory, there are some log files. And under the log files, there is a file named as group file. And there is also another file which named as gshadow file. So these two files will able to tell us that our group has been created and what's its GID and what are the members is existing on our group. So let's execute grep command to grab our group. So I'm saying grep India group under the etc group file. So it will provide us the output. So as we can able to get the output, the first is our group name. So as we know that our group name is India. The second is the password. So right now the password is in encrypted form. The third field refers to the GID, which is your group ID. And the fourth field is referred to the members of the group, that how many members exist under this group. So it will tell you the name of the members. So right now there is no member is exist on our group India. Okay, so that's why it is blank. Now, if I execute the gshadow file command, that if I want to grab this group India under the gshadow file, so let's see what kind of output we will going to get. So the first is your group name. The second field is referring your password status. So right now password is blank. We haven't assigned any password to our group India. That's why it is showing an exclamatory sign. The third field is your admin, that who is the admin member of your group India, that who is the owner of your group India. And the fourth is the members. So now let's understand the fourth field first. How we can add members to our group. So for that, there is a command. But before that, let's create some members. So I'm creating some users on my system because right now there is only one user named as Shikha. I want to create some users. So for that, I'm going to execute the command user and the name of the user. So I'm saying let's create a user named as user1 and user2, another one user3 and another one user4. So as if we check it under the home directory, we'll able to get all these users. So as you can see, user 1, 2, 3, 4, all the users has been created. Now it's time to add all these users to our group India. So let's add them one by one. So for that, first we're going to add the user1 to our group India. So for that, there is a command gpasswd -a which means adding. So basically what you are going to do, you will going to add a member to your group. And the name of your member is user1 and the group name is India. So it will add the member. So as you can see, after ending the member, it will also provide you a prompt message that your user 1 has been added to your group India. Okay, how we can check it? There is a command, as I've already shared with you, that what you need to do, you need to grab your group under group file. So I'm going to grab India group under etc group file and under gshadow file. So as you can see here, under group file, this group has a member named as user1. Similarly, under this file, user1 has been added as a member of group India. Okay, but we know that on our system, there is not only a single member we want to add. We want to add all these members all together in one straight line. How we can do that? So if we execute this command, we can't able to add all these users at once to our group India. So for that, there is a command, and the command is gpasswd hyphen capital M. It means you are adding the members. Okay, so here you can write multiple members whom you want to add to your group. So I'm saying let's add user 2, comma, user 3, comma, user 4. All these members at once in my group named as India. So let's write the name of your group where you want to add all these members. So let's check it under the group and gshadow file. So as you can see here, user 2, 3, 4 has been added to our group India. But if we do notice one thing, before these users, I've already added a member, user 1, to my group India, as you can see here. But the user 1 is not, we are not able to see the user 1 here under the group India. Because basically what happens when you execute this command along with option -m, gpasswd along with option -m, it means it will going to add the members whom you want to add it to your group. But the existing members to your group will get removed. So that's why the user 1 is already existing to our group India. It has been removed from the group and the users, user 2, 3, 4 has been added to our group India. So, but I want that user 1 is also able to add or do the performance or the operations under the group India. So for that, I'm going to add this user again. So for that, what you need to do, you can do two options. You can prefer two ways. The very first is you can use or you can execute this command all the users at once by using the -m command, or what you can do, you can use the command by only adding a single user -a and the user name. So it will also going to add your user to the group. So as you can see here, user 1 is also added to the group India. Okay, so this is the method. Now let's understand under the gshadow file, why does the third field is blank, which is referring for the admin or the owner of the group. So I'm saying let's add a member as an admin of the group India, because India group has the admin named as root, but I want to change it, or I want to switch it to a normal user. So we know on our system there are many users, as you can see here under LL home directory, Shikha, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. Let's create user 4 as the admin member of the India group. So for that, we need to execute the command gpasswd hyphen capital A. Capital A is here referring the admin member. Okay, so if you want to add any user as an admin member or as a owner, what you need to do, you need to use this attribute -a and the user name user 1, and after that what you need to do, you need to write your group name. So under the group India, user 1 has been added as an admin member. So we can check it under gshadow file. So as we can see here, under the third field, the admin member is user 1. So now if we switch it to the user 1, and now here I'm going to, if I want to add any user. So let's see, can we are able to add any user to our group. So first let's remove some users and then we're going to add. So, or should I say user add Shikha G pass WD hyphen A Shikha to India. Now let's check it. So as you can see, as an admin member, user 1 is able to add the user Shikha under the India group. How we are able to check it? Grab India under etc group. So Shikha has been added. Similarly, user 1 can delete the user 2. So for that, what we need to do to delete any user, we need to execute the command gpasswd and along with option -d. And D should be in small letters. So if you want to delete any user, you need to use this option hyphen and small d. And the user name. So I'm saying user 1 from India group. So like how we can delete any user as we can see here. Okay, if I want to delete the user 2, so I'm saying remove user 2. We can check it. Okay, user 2 is not there. Similarly, we can remove user 3 as well. Okay, so we are able to remove the users whom we want to remove from our group. So this is the method to remove any user from the group. Now, let's switch it to the root user again. Now what we will going to do? Suppose if I want more security under my group India, I don't want that anyone could able to do any operations under my India group and can enter into my group. So for that, I want to provide a password to my group. So to assign any password to your group, what you need to do, you need to execute the command gpasswd and your group name. Just a second, by mistaken, I have write 3s here. Okay, so now it is asking for the password, new password for your group. So I'm saying let's execute the password group at the rate 123. Group at the rate 123. So now I'm able to set a password to my group India. If we check its status, so let's execute the command grab India under etc gshadow file. So as you can see, now the password field is filled with some encrypted form with some algorithm, and the algorithm is your $6, which is your SHA 256. Okay, so that's how we can execute any command, execute this command to assign the password to our group, gpassword and your group name. Okay, similarly, if we switch our user to user 1, and now let's check here ID. So ID command will able to provide you the information of your user, that what its user ID, what its group ID, what are the groups in which this user is existing, like what is your its primary group or what its secondary group, and all of the things as we can see here. So right now, whenever you are getting GID, so under the GID there is a number, and under the number there is a group. So whenever you get this number, which means under your GID, this group is telling that it is your primary group, from where do you belong, or from where your content will automatically going to save. So under the group section as well, we are able to getting user 1. Now if I want to add another user as a secondary, if I want to add another group as a secondary group to under my user 1 ID, how I am going to do so? So for that, there is a command new grp. It means new group you are want to execute, or you want to assign to user 1. So for that, what we need to do, we need to execute new grp command and then India as a group name. So what you need to do, you need to assign the password. So before entering this user, or before assigning this group India as a secondary group to user 1, what you need to do, you need to provide the password of group India. So I'm saying the password is group at the rate 123. Okay. So now let's check its ID. Let's execute id command, and here we are able to get. So now its primary group is India because I have here written new grp. That's why it is showing its primary group. Okay. And the group primary group name is India, and the secondary group is user1. Okay. So this is the method how we can make any user come under the primary group or under the secondary group. Okay. Similarly, what you can do, if you want to remove the password, what you need to do, you need to execute the command gpasswd hyphen small r and the group name India. Now let's check it under G shadow file. So the group has been removed. Okay. So we can execute this command as well. There are many other commands such as if you want that whenever you create any user, so by default, it will get a secondary group. So for that, there is a command user add hyphen capital G for assigning the group as a secondary group. So I'm saying let's add India as a secondary group to a user. I'm going to create AWS. So what it will going to do, this command will going to add a user named as India, and it will provide a secondary group India to the AWS user. So now let's execute this command, and now let's check AWS user. So we are able to create the user AWS, and now let's come under the AWS user to check its secondary group. So as we can see, its primary group is still AWS, but it has also a secondary group named as India. But now if my mood is changed, I want that AWS user as well. It will also going to have the group India as a primary group. So for that, I'm going to execute the command new grp and the India group here. Now it will going to have this group as a primary. So I'm going to execute the id command. See, India is the primary group for now AWS. Okay. Similarly, we can change it by modify its group. Like first you need to come under root directory. You can modify its group as well by executing this command user mode and hyphen capital G for assigning India group as a secondary group to AWS user. Now let's come under again AWS user, and now let's execute id command. So see, we are also able to get this. So now I again made AWS group belongs to AWS user, and its secondary group would be India. Okay. So basically this is the main thing which I am going to discuss with you under the group management topic, that how you can add any user to the group, how you can add a group, how you can make a secondary group and a primary group, how you can add multiple users to a group. One more thing which I want to discuss with you is that how you can delete a group. We can also going to check it that as well. So to delete a group, you need to execute the command group del and the group name. So if the group is a secondary group, it will going to easily removed, but if the group is belong to someone user as a primary group, so it will not going to remove the group. Okay. So we are able to remove the group India. We can check it under group file. So we are not able to get the output. So group has been deleted. Okay. We can still check under the G shadow file for the confirmation. The group has been deleted. Now let's again create a group add Delhi. Let me check it under the G shadow file and the group file. So my group has been created. Okay, now it's time to create the user, and let's assign this group as a primary group to the user cloud. So I'm saying user add and add Delhi as a primary group to to cloud user. So what it will going to do, it will going to add a user cloud, and by default we have assigned an option -g, which means it will going to add a group as a primary group Delhi to the cloud user. So now let's execute it and let's switch it to the cloud user, and let's execute id command here. So as we can see, GID 1007 and Delhi group GID is also 1007, and it is showing its primary group is Delhi and primary group is Delhi, and the secondary group it will get cloud, but there is no secondary group as we have created the user add command. So by default there it has the only one group, primary group, which is Delhi. So I'm going to delete this group. So for that, let's come under the root directory and now let's delete it. So the primary group is never delete. We can't delete any primary group. So let's try it. So I am saying group del Delhi. Okay. So what it's showing, cannot remove the primary group of user cloud, because cloud user has this primary group named as Delhi. It will not going to remove this group. If you make it secondary, so it will easily able to remove this group as well. So let's make it secondary. How we can do so? So let's add another group. So I'm saying group add volume, and now let's user mode its secondary group or its primary group volume. Okay, so what I'm saying, so what it will going to do, so I'm going to execute this command. It will going to modify the group, the primary group of cloud from Delhi to volume. So the cloud user will going to have the group as a primary. So the primary group it will going to get it volume. Okay, now let's switch it to the cloud user again, and now let's check it by executing the id command. id. So as you can see, primary group is now volume and the secondary group no exist. Okay. So I'm saying again new GRP. Let's add another group cloud. Okay, let's add new GRP India. Okay, we have deleted the group, I think Delhi. So any normal user can't easily able to add any user to its home directory. First, we need to assign the password to the group. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit this, and now I'm going to provide the password to my Delhi group so that I can delete this group. New GRP Delhi. Okay, so now let's execute id command. So as we can see, Delhi is now its new group. Okay, it's primary group, but I want to delete this Delhi group. As of now, we can see it is the primary group of cloud user. I'm going to remove this group as a primary. I'm going to add volume as my primary group. Okay, so we can see here volume is now our primary group of cloud user, and the Delhi is the secondary group of cloud user. Now we can easily able to remove this group as well. Okay, so I'm here saying group del Delhi. Exit. Del Delhi. So we are easily able to delete this group. Okay. So This is the main basically group management topic. This is the main commands which we need to understand and which we need to able to know that how we can execute all these commands under the group management topic. So basically this is it under the group management. If you want to know more about group management, what you need to do, group add hyphen help. So it will provide you the options what you can use. Okay. So now it's time to bind up here. So now it's time to break this lecture here because we are able to get to know regarding the group management, and I hope you will find this video helpful. And yeah, we'll meet soon with another lecture. Thanks for watching.